All right. Hello, everyone. How are you today? This is me, Denise Jenkins, coming to you live from my bedroom once again. Um, in today's podcast, I have titled this podcast "Why They Say I'm Different," and I will explain to you why I'm different. Okay. Now, when I was born, September the 10th of 1973. I was born a girl child to my mother, Carolyn Jenkins, a Savannah whose mother passed when she was just 11 years old. And 2 days exactly before my mother's birthday, on May the 3rd. Um, and when my mother passed away in 2012, she passed away on May the 3rd. 2 days before her 57th birthday. Okay. Um, being the only child, I was very spoiled by like everyone in my family. I was really spoiled. I really was. And a lot of expectations from people, good ones. When my mother, she was very, very trusting. She trusted a lot of people, and she just some of the people that she trusted with me stabbed her in the back by you know molesting her daughter. you know and these guys that did this to me were family members, and all black men. And so as I grew up, I didn't really trust people at that, you know, after I got at an age where I was not up under my mother's care and I could venture out into society by myself without my mother's eyes on me, I I found it hard to trust people. So looking for companionship, trying to be in a loving relationship with someone to give me love. Um, because like when I told my mom, nothing was done, you know. So I ended up being an orphan for a whole year. So after that time in my life, I was, taken over to my aunt's house, and she took good care of me, her and my uncle. So I had that, and then growing on up, trusting people, I got burned a lot by people, I'm telling you, trusting people. So as I got older and I started to read my Bible more, I could understand why our Heavenly Father tell us, don't put your trust in no man, because mankind will disappoint you. You put them on that pedestal and they're going to come tumbling down right before your eyes. And which that was what Jesus taught, you know. Cuz he handpicked his 12 disciples. He even picked the one, Judas Iscariot, the one that would betray him and sell him out for silver and gold. So, oh, over the years, I have seen people be betrayed by their very best friend, a sister, a brother, in some kind of a way. They were betrayed by someone that they handpicked, to be their best friend. And um, like I say, over the years, I got burned a lot. You know, uh, I was a fighter because of me being molested at a very young age and my virginity taken. I was a victim of child rape at the age of 12 years old by a family member. So as I got older, I felt like if the men that was in my family who were supposed to protect me and look out for me did this to me, there's no telling what a man that's not related to me would do. you know? So trusting was hard, but I did come across a few people that I could trust, people that proved it to me that I could trust them. And I went that way, you know? I um I got addicted to drugs at a very young age, and that is one of the main reasons I started this podcast to prevent young black females from being addicted to a demon substance the way I did. And I vow to, when I get 10,000 views, that I would get my teeth fixed. But until then, I'm not going to do that because I want my baby sisters to see the effects of a demon substance, how it destroys the enamel in your teeth, and how sometimes people get other bad diseases or some kind of affliction from that abuse of drugs. And when I get those 10,000 views, that I'm going to go and do that, you know? And I would really want, I want a picture of of my teeth, because when I do my seminars and my college events and church events and school events, I want to have a big billboard picture behind me to let them see what this kind of a drug abuse could do to you, how it can hurt your physical appearance, as well as you having a chance in society around people trying to remind you of what you used to do and trying to treat you like crap because you have overcome that and you're stronger now. Now you're doing things that you never thought you could do, and you're doing it, you know? And for my sisters out in the struggle, I want to rope them in and let them know there is hope on the other side of that lifestyle that you're living. You know, my sisters that are in recovery and have been in recovery for years, I love you girls, you women. I commend you. I really appreciate your courage and your endurance to continue in your sobriety being the people who you are. Okay. So having all these things, occur in my life, of me seeing people I love get on a demon substance, my protection was gone. My protection, it was gone. I had no one to protect me from the demon substance, someone to protect me from harm in the world, And so that went forth. Over the years, I have really made some really bad choices because of my addiction. And I know that being a victim of child rape, that takes a toll on a child. We get messed up. Even molested kids, we get messed up bad. And in our adulthood, we are these strong people, and we don't back down. I don't back down from anyone, and like I told you before, I am Denise Luttrell Jenkins. I went to the school of hard knocks and I graduated from the College of Pain. And yes, I am misunderstood. That's why my haters misuse and slander my name. Because now I'm a strong woman. I'm not that woman I used to be that you could run over or convince to do something messed up that all parties know is wrong. That's not me anymore. And giving guys a chance, to break my heart over and over and over again, that's over. I'm really enjoying my sobriety and my single life. I don't really have time to devote to another person in a relationship, and I don't want to have a person like invite someone into my life and I got trust issues where I don't trust people. I'm serious. I mean, I love my mom, I love my mother so much, but when she did not protect me, I felt betrayed by her. And I felt like if she didn't help me then, like that, I was a little girl, and you're supposed to protect your kids, but being as I grew up and I fell in love with men, I could understand what my mama went through. She was in love with someone and she didn't know how to, I guess execute hating him or, anything, you know what I mean? So, but and as I grew up, I loved guys, and I never really had a bad man in my life until recently when I got involved with my son's father. And I won't say that he a bad man. He more like he I could say coward, yes. Yeah. He does hide his hand when he know things are happening, and for him to save face, he would hide the truth, So I learned from him that there is a future in front. You know, that's what I learned from him. And ladies, I'm going to let you know, he's the only one that I've learned that there's a future in front and from. Only him, because my other boyfriends I had before him were big in the street. They were like the man. You know what I mean? So uh with them I was protected. I never had an issue with females or males, coming at me until I met him. You feel me? So that made me more hard towards accepting people in my life to be your lover or be your woman or whatever. I don't really believe that love is real out here anymore. There's just too much hate and too much fronting. People front a lot, you know. So all of that, those experiences with bad people, bad habits, bad places, molded me to be this person that you see. I'm not gonna take no shorts, no with nickels, no pee in the face telling me it's raining. None of that stuff like that. I don't go for that. I don't. And I figured that's why when people are like right now are hating on me and trying to keep me oppressed, they come in groups because someone must have told them that she's a force to be reckoned with. If you're gonna come for her, you better come for her. So before I started this podcast, I was getting everything together to discuss, and I got a phone call from this bogus woman. I'm telling you, some women they have such low self-esteem until you can put them up to just about doing anything stupid and ignorant to another person. And this female was really a stupid, ignorant female. You know what I mean? That type. Okay. So she's on the phone talking to me about life insurance. And I'm like, okay, I don't never answer phone calls if I don't um recognized the number, and it was like a 470 number, and I really never answer any out of town calls, especially now in summertime. I haven't made any appointments to go to the ATL or anywhere, so but I just answered it. I wanted to know, and there she was with her ignorance for the day. So I hope you got your cookies for the day, talking to me about life insurance and how some company she with would cover everything, And I know that the woman my son's father is dealing with is a white woman. So, and I know her ego is bent up because I'm a black woman. And I'm not just any ordinary black woman. I'm a black woman who can stand on her own 10 toes. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go run out and grab up no one to fight my battle for me. I'm going to do that myself. I'm an only child, yes. I do have cousins that I call my brothers, but no, they could tell you themselves. She don't never run and get us for nothing. She never have, and I never will because they are important to me, you know? And so dealing with these type of people every day is something that I was trained for in my childhood and growing to school with those two ignorant females who was pregnant in school, and other females in school, doing little dumb stuff in school, Um, and in my growing up, I had this a guy in my life, and that's when I was like really smoking marijuana really hard, and he was shocked. He did not do drugs. He didn't drink. He didn't do anything. He was a truck driver. He had been in the Navy and everything, and we were really good lovers. But um, being that I had been hurt and everything, I didn't get along that well with him, because I didn't really trust him like that. But he told me something one day. He said, "You know what? One day you're going to grow into the beautiful, strong black woman that I know you are and which you can be." He said, "And I am going to be so disappointed in myself because I'm not going to be with you." It's like he could look into the future and see what I would be doing and we wouldn't be together, you know? And that was like, in one ear and right out the other. I had several messages over my lifetime of people telling me things about how I was going to be wealthy. I was going to have a very wealthy mind, a wealthy soul, a wealthy heart, and because life was going to make me tough because I was very sweet to people, very nice to them, easygoing, laid back, love puppies, old people, and bubblegum. You know what I mean? So that's how it was with me. And a lot of experiences that I had in my life with being stabbed in the back by family members, someone I cared about, a lover, a boyfriend, and all of that stuff grounded me, and it gave me roots, roots of a strong, courageous black woman. Even though I kept slipping backwards and going forward, and then I'll slip backwards and go through so many pain after pain after pain and hurt. Oh boy, hurt, hurt, hurt. But like I tell you, pain is the college I graduated from. So I deal with pain and grief a whole lot different than a whole lot of females that I know, because I shared my story in a class that I was going to about my son's father and this childish, ignorant woman that he deals with. And a lot of the women, the black women, the white women in that class said, I couldn't be you because I would have been done put it on this man. And I would have been looked for her. I would have found her and did this, that right there, and all that right there. But I told them, I reminded them, look, let me tell you something. I have been locked away before, and I do not like locked doors that I cannot get out of. You feel me? If you've ever been locked up and you're in a cubicle, little room, and you got a roommate, and every time that roommate goes to the bathroom, you see, hear, and smell whatever it is that's coming down. You feel me? And I don't like cold grits. I don't like not being able to walk in uh my panties or whatever and go straight to my refrigerator at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on my own. You know what I mean? So I was letting them know that what people say out their mouth is just another person talking loud, not doing nothing. They not saying nothing and they not gonna do anything. Cause I find that very, very truthful what my mother said about cheap people. They throw cheap shots. They're not going to man up or woman up to the situation. And that's who I am. I will man up and woman up to any situation, but I will not let someone trick me out of my freedom, you know. And I believe that's one thing that my haters hate about me the most is that any and everything that they try to stop me with, what they try to do, it don't do anything but empower me, and I get stronger and I do more. And one thing I like about myself, I tell you, is the fact that I do not have a big ego. I don't. Out of all the things I have been through in my entire life, I do not have a big ego. And I thank God for that. Because people with a big ego, they are always trying to get their point across, especially after someone stomps on it, you know. So when a person that has a big ego, they are high sprung, and thin skinned. So they cannot take what they dish out. You feel me? So I'm glad that I don't have a big ego, that I'm a everyday people type of woman, and I'm a mature woman with my 50-year-old self and my two beautiful granddaughters, my four lovely children. I am grateful for that, that I can walk through that storm and stay focused instead of looking to my left and my right. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna look behind me, okay, and bump my head. No, that can't happen. I'm not gonna let it. So, having all that go on and having pain ever since I was like a little kid all the way up to my adulthood has molded me to be this person that's here before you now. I took a change in my life and I love it. You know, Listening to real saints, you know what I mean? Um, Real saints, they do exist, guys. They do. And they don't hold back and they don't try to front and they don't be out there acting like they never did nothing bad up under the sun. No, they are real. And when my world was spinning around and around and I went to that church, I could not believe it. But what God was telling me once again is that, baby girl, the devil everywhere. He in disguise everywhere. Because when I heard that lady say, some people need more protection than God. Oh my goodness. I knew right then and there, lady, you got some splaining to do. You got some splaining to do to the Heavenly Father, man. You do. Because you fix your mouth to say that some people need more protection than God. Ooh. I told a pastor, a real pastor, about this um, comment. And he said, everybody that say Lord, Lord are not going to get in. So don't you worry about that. Okay. And I went on ahead on not worrying about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, people will disappoint you no matter who they are, what kind of job they have or anything, because, you know, people in the spotlight, they tend to think that they can get away with a lot of stuff, you know. But I praise a God of a second chance, you know. So when I was in boot camp, um, a prophet came to the boot camp, and I had a very close friend, and we were in there together, and we went there, and he said that in that crowd, the crowd of us women right up there in Claxton, Georgia, that he could see new mothers. We laughed because we had children, but they were like older kids, and we were not even thinking about having another baby. Our kids was well up there, 17 and 18 years old. And He said, I see wives. We laughed at that too because we said we would not get married, you know. He seen evangelists and he saw doctors that were doctrines to preach to God's children. He said that he saw fruits of knowledge in that room of women that he's seen in while he was prophesizing to us in this boot camp. And a lot of me and her were like, girl, I would never have another baby. I would never give a man my hand in marriage. Oh my God, let alone give him a kid, you know. And we thought that was so funny that happened. But guess what? When I came home and met my son's father years later, I had a baby, a beautiful little boy. So did she. She had a daughter. I was engaged to be married, and she got married. And we used to be on that demon substance, and we were clean. But someone was so jealous of my friend until they had convinced her husband that she was still out there messing around. And she wasn't. She was being good. He killed my friend because of stuff that people said in his ear, whispered in his ear about his beautiful wife. He killed my friend. He killed my friend right in front of her kids. And I heard over that, and I thought like, wow, this is her ending. I wonder what mine gonna be. Because we had our children around the same time. She had a little daughter and I had a son. And wow, that was something, you know. And I know that people out there, they will be so envious of you that they will kill you, or they will try to get someone else to do their dirty work, you know. My mom always said to me, if you can't do something yourself, don't ever ask a person to do what you're not willing to do. Never do that. The people that you ask to do it, they know you can't do it. And secretly, they don't respect you. Secretly, they think you a coward because you can't do it yourself and you got them to do it for you. And so over the years, I found that to be true, you know, because there's a lot of wise people in the world with wisdom. And those are the people who I love. I love to talk to people like that. I don't like to talk to people who don't have no knowledge. And I strongly have something against old people who sit around and don't do nothing about the village. They're supposed to be our keeper. They're older than us. They're supposed to steer us in the right direction. But, you know, the Jim Crow letter has a lot to do with why older black women won't educate young black women, and the older and black man and the young black man being at each other's, you know, throat at the head. Um, being that I went through a very troubling childhood, and I periodically would meet people who were really real people, you know, and I would have to test them out. I'm gonna see how long you gonna pursue this friendship. See what I want to see, you know, and some of them, they really did do that thing. They did what they said they would do, and they did impress me. They impressed me so much. This one guy, he impressed me because I thought that he was going to hurt my baby because I had been hurt, and she was young and he was young. He never said one mumbling word. He just showed me that he is a man, and he gave me my first grandchild, and that was wrong about him. And I told him, I told his mother, I was wrong about your son because I thought that he was going to be a playboy on my daughter, but he proved me wrong, real wrong, quick too. It seemed quick, but it was as years went by. And now he gave me a a beautiful granddaughter he made with my daughter. And I tell you, I love him so much. I think he is a wonderful black man because him and my daughter, they work and take care of their child together. And I love that boy for that. Excuse me, that man. I love that man for that. And so as the beat goes on, I'm basically have been shaped and molded, yes, by pain. Yes, I have. And I don't war no more. I don't get into a lot of crappy little situations. And that's why I have a really bad, deep grudge against my son's father because I've never experienced anything like this in my life. And the way he is so coward like. He's a real coward. He really is. And I don't care about who's seeing this podcast to tell him what I said or whatever. I don't. I'm real about mine and that's how I feel. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He just played dangerous games with people's life, you know, and she do too, because this is real life. You messing around in a person's life. This is not a movie. This is real life and real events going on in my life every day, you know? And taking my son places, that is kind of difficult. And this Savannah, Georgia, this is my hometown. I done lived in Atlanta, Georgia for 9 years. I done lived in Macon, Georgia for 6 years. I stayed in Warner Robins for almost 2 years. And I have never had to carry protection with me in any of those places. But in Savannah, Georgia, oh my God. These people here, if you're not a ballot person, they will turn you into one because they will nitpick, and keep doing something until you respond to them in a negative way you know but I thank God for my little brother, take off. I'm Offset. I thank God for take off too, but Offset and his beautiful wife Cardi B, man, they said they'll do anything for clout, you know what I mean? Anything. And they ain't never lied, boy. People will do anything for clout. I know it. And they'll do and say anything for clout. And that's a true rap song right there. It's true. It is so true. And having me and being 50 years old and I'm trying to keep my life right. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing bad to tell to no little girls out there in the world. I'll be real with you from day one to now, to about end of days. To tell you, teach you something because other older black women, they don't do that. They don't tell us nothing to secure our future, you know. And I just want to form a village of one. And what I mean by a village of one is the village of one. What I mean is just us in our village and we getting things done with our people, our young black people, young black women and young black men. So all that pain and trials and tribulations that I've been through is the reason why people say I'm different, the reason why I am different, the reason why they have to come up with all kinds of excuses and try me is what I heard someone say they need to quit trying you. And I'm like, no, they're not trying me. What they need to do is try Jesus, try hitting that lottery, you know what I mean? And living the edge on the life is weird in the hood. If you really want to live an edge on life, you need to go join the army for real. Because all this shooting up people in these neighborhoods and having all this drama going on, no, y'all don't need to do that for real. You really don't. And I I understand that a lot of you guys out there are fatherless and you did not have a strong male role model in your life. And, I feel sorry for you to a certain extent because once you become a man, you're supposed to know right from wrong. And if you still out there doing wrong, that's something that you want to do, you know? That's something you want to do. You done got so used to it until it's become your lifestyle, you know? And I don't have that lifestyle. The lifestyle that I had has shaped and molded me for a beautiful life here, right now, being the best mother and grandmother I can. The ability to see through the crap that people trying, the ability to resist, you know, because I don't want a lot of nonsense in my life. And I am the way I am because of my experiences in my own life and the things that I have seen other people go through and learn from them as well. You can learn from people just by watching them. And the best teacher that we could ever have is our very own experience, the things that we have gone through, our trials, our tribulations, not to go back down that road again, not to try that again because it didn't work. So why you keep trying it? It's insane. It's not going to work, you know. And I would love for us black people to get together and form some kind of a leadership for the next generation of our young black people. Because if you have a 10-year-old child, okay, if you have a child in your belly, in your womb, or in elementary school, okay, I want you to think about what is going on right now in the world with black people, men and women, killing each other, fighting with each other, spreading gossip, doing things to hurt one another. I want you to think about this. If we don't stand together right now, your child is going to go through everything that we see on the news every day. So if we don't get together right now and form a pact with each other, and we go and march to our governors, whatever place we live, whatever state we are in, and we demand a Black history class for Black children, I'm telling you, ladies, if we get together and do this, our boys will change. Our daughters will change. They will see the value of education. They will know that our ancestors was killed because they wanted to read, or they got caught reading, or they tried to escape for freedom. And they would see we couldn't go into restaurants and have a nice burger with our mom and dad, couldn't go in McDonald's, Crystals, Burger King, all the pizza joints. If we get together and we get our Black histories in school for our children, our Black America will change. I know it will. There's nothing wrong with change, millions. It's not. Change is awesome and wonderful. And I thank God for the change in me because the change in me are going to save my daughter, my granddaughters, your granddaughters, your nieces and little sisters all over the world. It's going to change them. My change, me, not being ashamed of where I come from and what I have been through, and I don't care what a hater say. That's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. When we black women and black men in the United States of Black America get together and we make a stand for our children, forget all that other stuff. Forget your grudges, your hatred towards people. Our communities are never going to change if we keep acting like this and treating each other bad and hurting each other. our community, our Black America going to stay a nightmare if we don't stand together. I can care less about what a hating woman or man got to say about me. Because look at you. From sun up to sundown, what have you done in that time? Nothing. It's about to be half the year. In a couple of days, it's going to be June. January, February, March, April, May, June. Half of the year is gone. Hater, what have you done to improve your life, your lifestyle? What have you done? You see what I do. I get on this podcast. I educate my people, PLM, people like me. That thought was in my mind for years, guys. Years. I've always wanted a talk show to talk about different things that go on in Black America, especially that drug abuse. You know, Reaganomics was a hell of a time for us and our parents. And a lot of us grew up and did the same drugs that our parents used to do. I'm one. If we get together, people, and you start all of this to stop the ignorance and the nonsense, we can save our people. We can. We can save so many Black mothers crying because someone killed a son over a relationship. Come on. What else do you have to do? What's your time? What else is there to you besides those little words that you sprout out your mouth? What else? Because you people, if we don't get that class, there are going to be more victims like Shakari Turner in Atlanta. Do you know that brother that went to sleep in the parking lot and the police shot him down his back in the ATL? Let me tell y'all something. He had a podcast. He was teaching young Black boys about his experience going to jail. He had a podcast. He was doing something with his life. He was making a difference. And there go the enemy, our accuser, always accusing us of doing bad things, crept up and took my brother, my help, out of the world. Let me tell you, the biggest trick that Satan ever pulled on mankind was that he did not exist. He do exist. And you will know him by his ways because he changes faces every day. And he will hurt you with somebody you love, your husband, your child, your siblings, your cousins, your work wife, your work husband. Somebody will hurt you through him. He is the accuser. And this is where he roams on earth. We got to get together. Stop this, man. It's a race of people who want us to kill each other. Not all of them, just a few of them. And you know who you are. Playing on my phone. Anyway, let's get together. Because I don't have time to entertain negative people. I don't care what your age is, what your race is. I do not have time to entertain your ignorance. I will not even make time for that. I have two granddaughters. I have one beautiful daughter and three sons in this world. I have little cousins who are just starting middle school, high school. Beautiful. And they will be tempted and they will be tried because temptation is out there. But on my watch, my granddaughters, my daughter, my cousins, my little cousins, they will not fall victim to a demon substance. No woman in the world will fall victim to that demon substance. Not on my watch. And I know, I got a whole lot of people who don't like me, and I don't care. Because you know why? You are hating me because I'm doing something. You hate me because I'm doing something great. You feel me? It's a difference when someone hates you because you did something bad, and they hate you because you're doing something good. You are shocked. I have shocked you. You shocked. You're in shock. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Because I do. I know I make you look real stupid. And you know what? You're supposed to. You signed up for that position to be stupid. I did not. I took a stand. I called on my Heavenly Father for assistance, not Boo Boo and Bobo and them. No. Sisters and brothers, grandparents all over the world, rappers, black actors and actresses, please help me. We need a Black History class so our nation of Black people can rise. Our nation, the United States of Black America, we need Black History class. The month, 28 days, we ate that biscuit and the syrup was sweet, but we want more. The street names, Martin Luther King Boulevard, we ate that biscuit too. And the syrup was sweet, but this is a new generation. And we want to know about our ancestors. We want to know about our Black leaders. Our children need to know who they were, what they stood for, who they are in our life, our heritage. This is why I'm different. I live in a neighborhood and I'm different. And I know I am. I don't think I'm better than nobody. And ain't nobody better than me. And throughout all my trials and tribulations, no. Throughout all my trials and tribulations, I am here. And I stand on my 2 feet without a whole bunch of people trying to stop me. Come on with it. You can't. Because I have a God, a almighty God, a God of a second chance. And when life knocked me down, I stood right back up. And I'm ready. I am ready. And nothing is going to get in my way because my young Black sisters and brothers, they need me. And I'm here. Yes, I am. Please like my podcast, subscribe, give me your comments. I am here. You all take care. Have a wonderful day and be good.